Welcome back to the channel. My name is Milkshake Matty, and here we talk about everything crypto. And today we are talking about XRP. And most importantly, everybody wants to know the answer. When is XRP going to have this big rally and bust through a milestone? And I'm not talking about an all-time high, $3 something. I'm talking about when is it likely to bust through the $10? And today we're talking about when potentially it could bust through the $12 mark. And we're going to look at charts. We're going to be looking at what indicators we can see. And I found a report. Somebody's written a report. It delves deep. And I think it's a really, really interesting read. And it's something that I want to share with you guys because if he's right, we're ready to fly. Nothing I do here is financial advice. Please seek your own financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy on the internet with a beard talking to you about what I see and do. Nothing here is financial advice. Before we even get into this video, let me know in the comments two things. First of all, where are you from in the world? Because it's been really interesting for me to see where people are from, the reach of YouTube, the reach of TikTok, the reach of social media in general for the content that I do. It always amazes me. People are global. This is a global game. And honestly, I really enjoy reading it and it's interesting for me to see. But most importantly, I want you to not only say where you're from, but also say whether you believe XRP can bust through that $10 mark and if it's realistic or is it impossible? It's pie in the sky. It's never going to happen. Let me know in the comments. Is it pie to the moon or is it just going to move sideways or even down forever? Let me know in the comments. Boys, what a month we've had. It has been brutal. The news coming out of America to do with tariffs, to do with the sanctions in other countries, to do with SEC cases. It's just been unprecedented. This isn't an XRP thing. This is a financial markets thing. It is global. Everything has been affected. But I think XRP has actually fared pretty well. When you look at what happened to a lot of cryptocurrencies, XRP, as it stands right now, is hovering around $2. We're still 225% up on the year. 225%. Now, if you look at the comments on social media, people will be going, it's a devastation. And it's not. It's simply not true. This is not a devastation. XRP, in my opinion, is faring incredibly well when you look over the 12-month period. You can't look at the last 3 or 4 weeks, or even 6 weeks, or even 8 weeks. Because if you did that, then everything's in trouble. Everything's in a bad way. And that's just not true. Cryptocurrency is a volatile asset. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. The swings are huge compared to like the stocks, say the S&P 500, where if you make 10% over the year, you've had a really good year. Now, yes, I know this week has been a freak week where the S&P 500 yesterday and the NASDAQ did 10% in a day. This is unheard of. The last time that happened was in the 1950s. The last time. But let me tell you something. On that day, when that happened in the 1950s, the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months, it went up further, even further from that big jump. If history repeats itself, maybe we're in for some good times. But I'm feeling really positive when it comes to XRP. I think the ducks are in a row right now. Implementation for mass adoption for financial institutions of XRP is now there. We are getting there. All the ticks in the boxes are happening. I'm positive. Are you positive? Or have you had enough? That I can see from the people's comments on social media. I'm really lucky. I have a really large TikTok audience and I get about 10 million views a month on my TikTok. And I can tell from the comments, some are blatantly trolls, whatever, you get that in life. But people are uncertain. There are people selling their XRP at a loss because they're worried. Unless, I know I talk about the fear and greed index a lot, but it does work. When you look at the fear and greed index, it shows you the mentality on a mass scale of where people's mindset is when it comes to investing, especially in riskier assets. And right now, people are unsure what's happening. We've had some good news over the last 24 hours. Donald Trump has put a 90-day pause on the tariffs, and we've had a bit of a boom on all of the crypto and the stocks as well. So it's been a good 24 hours. But previous to that, people have been incredibly nervous, and I have been witnessing people making comments about selling at a loss and just going, I'm out. And that's okay. That's the decision that they made with the information that's in front of them. And that's all that anybody can do. But my advice to you, actually, my advice to myself, is that when we're in this moment of uncertainty, relax. Take a deep breath, stand back and think long term, is it likely to go up or down? Then make your decision. Because if you're trying to think, is it going to go up and down by tomorrow, next week? It's too close. You should be looking further, unless you are leverage trading, and that's a different conversation. If you are spot trading, buying crypto in a normal way and holding for the long term, then does it really matter what the swing is tomorrow, today, the day after? You're looking long term. And I think that a lot of people lose sight of that. When the fear kicks in, the markets drop, people lose sight of what they got into it for in the first place. For me, I'm looking at 2029, 2030. What's the price going to be then? That's the question that I'm asking myself. And I believe it's going to be considerably higher than $2 that it's at today. Considerably higher. But let's get into that and look a bit closer. Because I know a lot of people will put up content where they're going, it's going to be $10,000. Is it really going to be $10,000? I think realistically we need to be looking, when are we going to bust an all-time high at $3 something? But then the biggest one after that, the biggest milestone after that for me is about $10. And I found something that I want to show you. We're going to get into that in a moment. But first of all, let's go and look at the charts. Let's go and look at XRP as it is right now. What you're looking at here is the TradingView chart for XRP. And as it stands right now, this second, it is at $1.99, just hovering around that $2 mark. Now, for those of you who've been watching me for a while, you'll know these charts and you'll know that these lines I've put in here have been there for a very long time. And this one here, which is at 153. Now, I was talking to people about this 153 mark months ago, saying if we lost the $2, there is a very good chance we could go down here. And I got absolute dog's abuse on social media saying it was never going to happen. XRP will never drop that far. Well, look what happened. On the 7th of April, we went down to 161, heading close to that line that I talked about. The good news is that there acted as a resistance and it bounced back up again in the same day. And as it stands right now, we're now back around the $2 mark. This is an important line for me. If it holds the $2 mark, the next line to be looking at is $2.48. That's what I'm looking at. From the information that I've got in front of me, this is the zone that we want us to start chewing into and moving up here, up towards that $2.40 mark. If we look at crypto as a whole, what you're looking at here is crypto bubbles. And we are looking at the top 100 cryptos by market cap. Look at the day. It's a sea of green. And there's some pretty big raises. 28% there, 11% there, 17% there, 12% there. This is good. This is okay. This is the recovery that we wanted. And we can thank Donald Trump for pausing the tariffs. The market has reacted to it almost instantly. That's what's going on right now. So that horrible section that we've had seems to be over. We've got a 90-day reprieve on the tariff news. It's been forcing the prices down of stocks and cryptocurrency. And it got me thinking about the price. If we do start breaking these barriers, going past the $2.50 mark, the $3 mark, getting to an all-time high, which I believe will happen, what about the bigger numbers? What about the numbers that will start changing some people's lives depending on how many XRP they hold? It'll be a mindset thing. If XRP does reach a $10 mark, some people will feel like their decision was justified when they were purchasing XRP when it was cheaper. Personally, my first purchase of XRP was at 33 cents. So I'm significantly up. That's good. But I also aware there's a lot of people that aren't significantly up because they bought at peaks. They bought when it was $2.50, $3, whatever it will be. And they're looking at it now in the red and going, oh, what am I going to do? Personally, I think it's going to go up. Hold. Wait. But let's look about timelines. I found this article. It was on cryptobasics.com. It's a really well-written article, and it is by a market analyst and a journalist. He does both. So he specializes in analyzing the markets and writing reports as a journalist. So let's go and look at this, see what we think to it. His title is Here Why XRP Could Hit $29. And he does explain that, but that's not the bit that I want to focus on. He's talking about basically that if Bitcoin claims the $170,000 mark, which by the way, I believe it will do at some point, his maths and calculations are saying that XRP will hit $20. Now, he goes quite in depth in this. I'm not going to go through all of it, but we're going to get a bit technical because down here is something really interesting. He says, a massive XRP uptrend after the downward retest. Following the February 2025 crossover, XRP against Bitcoin attempted to retest the 55 EMA, which veered off before touching it. If the pair manages a proper retest now, it could crash from the current 0.00002424 level to 0.00001850, with Bitcoin trading around $80,000 in such a scenario, XRP will drop to a near $1.48. Well, we saw something very similar. I've just shown you that on another chart. Now, after the slump, XRP could finally stage a much-needed rally, assuming XRP against Bitcoin repeats the previous 958% rally. The EGRAG indicates that the ratio would climb to 0.000171 Bitcoin. If that doesn't make sense to you, don't worry. Don't latch onto that too much. Listen to this. However, if Bitcoin trades at the Fibonacci 0.702 level at near $97,000 when the pair reaches the 0.000171, this will place XRP roughly at $16.50. Now, pause. He's saying that the charts are telling him that if Bitcoin gets to $97,000, then XRP could be in a position to rally up to $16.50. $97,000 is very possible for Bitcoin in the not too distant future. He goes on to say, nonetheless, if the firstborn crypto resumes its uptrend and breaks into new highs, XRP could achieve even more dramatic price rises. For instance, should Bitcoin reach the $130,000, XRP would be around $22 at the XRP against Bitcoin ratio of 0.000171. At $150,000 Bitcoin, which by the way, most analysts are saying that it's heading that way, that would push XRP to $25, while a climb to $170,000 for Bitcoin could catapult XRP to a massive $29. Some of you will understand the Fibonacci. Some of you will understand some of the technical stuff that he's talking about there. Those of you don't, I shouldn't worry about it too much. Research it if you want. The Fibonacci on crypto. Research that. That's something to get your teeth stuck into. It's something interesting and it's something that works. Some traders rely on that heavily. They completely believe on it. They make all their money on it. The Fibonacci is important. It's not, I don't hang my hat on it, but it's incredibly important and I do check it. But if what this person's saying is correct, XRP is off the leash. The SEC case is done. Yes, I know there's a few little bits hanging around, but it's a minor now. The tariffs seem to be done. We've got a 90-day reprieve. Are countries going to negotiate over those 90 days? Absolutely they are. According to recent reports, there's now 70-something countries actively negotiating with the United States of America to end this tariff war. China's the one to keep your eye on, but we'll see how it pans out. But for me, I firmly believe that Bitcoin will raise to the prices that journalist was talking about. And if it does, and the Fibonacci stays true, like most of the time it does, then maybe we're going to see XRP rise at the rates it always should have done had it have not had the leashes on it that had been put on it by the SEC case in particular. We're now at a situation where fast track really rapidly, ETFs are coming to play. Adoption by banks is on the cusp. In every continent that you look at, there is news coming out of banks, institutional organizations, where they are already prepping for this to happen, for them to use the ledger. Things are going in the right direction. What do you feel about this? Whether you understand the Fibonacci or not doesn't matter. If you understand it, even better. But let me know in the comments. Do you believe this is pie in the sky? Personally, I don't. I'm not sure about the levels that they're talking about with XRP, but I don't think it's going to be far away should this happen. I firmly believe we are going to see $150,000 Bitcoin within 12 months. Now, if that's true, if that happens, according to the Fibonacci, XRP could be rallying towards $30. Massive numbers. This could be life-changing numbers for some people. And for those of you who've got small holdings, might not be life-changing, but it's going to feel good, right? It's going to feel good if it happens. So let me know in the comments how you're feeling about this. What do you think is going to happen? And while you're getting stuck into the comments, also hit that subscribe button. 85% of you that watch me not subscribed. I'm new onto YouTube. I've only been here 6 and a little bit weeks. And I thank every single one of you that's followed me over from TikTok. If you had followed me over from TikTok, again, let me know in the comments because I love to see that you guys are supporting me over here. But we're doing really well. We've now got 3,500 subscribers here on YouTube. But honestly, I want to get it to 4,000. That's my next target. So if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And also, while you're at it, hit the like button. I'd like to see as many likes as I can on the video. And if you hit the bell button, then you're going to know the next time that I make a video. You'll be the first one to know. It'll alert you. It'll tell you. So, you know what to do. I'll be seeing you on the next video. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and press that bell button. And I'll see you on the next video. XRP to the moon? I'll let you decide.